How's it going again, everyone? So, just wanted to go over some things with you as far as what we will have in our garden this year, good Lord willing. Nasturtiums. Nasturtiums, they smell absolutely amazing. And this particular variety we grew last year, and you can actually eat these if you would like. We've never eaten them, but that is an option if you so choose. Okay, so another flower we want to grow is our morning glories. We grew these last year as well. They did great. Uh, we've also got two different types of sunflowers here. We've got the Fun Sunny Hybrid Mix, which has the different colored ones. And then we have the Lemon Queens, which are 5 to 6 feet, I'm pretty sure. The other ones, the hybrid mix, those are 4 to 6 feet or 4 to 5 feet, I think. But really, it depends on the grower and what size container they're in. I will say this: when you're growing sunflowers, be sure to put them in at least, if you're growing multiples in the same container, at least a 10-gallon fabric pot or some kind of 7-gallon at the very least. 10-gallon works even better. Then we go over here to the Black Beauty Summer Squash. These are very, very easy to grow. The only thing you really have to worry about with these is army worms or worms getting into your tubers or your stalks. We had that happen to us one year. And my daughter, she wants the short and sweet carrots this year. So I obliged her on that. And corn. Good old corn. I grew up on a big old 500-acre strawberry corn and dairy farm out in Blount County, Tennessee. And sweet corn is so good. So, with all these different things we're growing, I will be more than happy to go over the different pHs for each one of these items in the soil and different things that they like and some things they don't like as much. Cantaloupe, this will be our first year trying cantaloupe, so fingers crossed on this one. Sugar snap peas. We grew these things last year, and let me tell you what, these things exploded. We had sugar snap peas coming out of our ears, pretty much. I didn't know they grew as well as they ended up growing. Excuse me. But boy, did they grow. I bet we had well over 250 to 350 sugar snap peas. But they have a short period of time in which they start getting bitter. So keep that in mind if you want to grow these. And any type of soil, really. Not a compacted soil for any of these. Something with aeration like perlite or pumice stone. Now, on to the tomatoes. We've got the Bodacious hybrids. You can see how big they are in this gentleman's hands here. We grew a couple that were this big last year. And tomatoes are heavy feeding plants. So keep that in mind. In the early stages, you want plenty of nitrogen, some phosphorus, and some potassium, but you want something with calcium as well. Calcium builds the cell wall. It strengthens the cell wall within the plant of each cell. So without calcium, it's going to be not such a good plant for you, and definitely not a good harvest. These are ones that we have grown multiple times, the Cherokee Purples. They get really big, they get really juicy, and these are heirlooms. non-genetically modified, and we grow all organic here anyway. And I'll be showing you guys how to make compost teas and things like that. So please tune in, because the compost teas are really what's going to set your organic garden apart from a lot of other people's gardens that are using synthetic nutrients. To each their own. I want to say this: just because I grow organically doesn't mean that this is the only way to grow. I will never knock anyone's growing style as long as it's producing. I won't knock it even if it's not producing. I'll try to give tips and pointers on how they could better improve their gardening, but I will never knock anyone for trying. So anyone out there that wants to grow, just start growing. That's the easiest way to get over the fear of, what if I'm going to fail? What if I'm not going to do this or that? Just get in there and do it. Get your hands in that soil, and once you do that, you're hooked. So another tomato we grow is yellow pear tomatoes, and these things produce like absolute crazy. I bet we had close to 500 tomatoes on this plant. Of course, this plant is an indeterminate variety, and an indeterminate tomato just means it doesn't have basically a determined size within its genetic. And this plant grew to about 7 feet tall. Now you can trim it back and you can keep it pruned to keep it shorter, but I wanted to see what this plant could do the first time I grew it, and this was 2 or 3 years ago now, and this plant just produced like none other. And they were all about, I would say, the size of a radish, your typical radish. We have another tomato here. This is the Bush Steak Hybrid tomato from Burpee, and this is another easy tomato to grow. Heavy feeder, like all tomatoes, heavy in the nitrogen in the beginning stages. I would recommend an organic nitrogen source, like I said in my first video, Dr. Earth Tomato, Vegetable, and Herb. It is an excellent top dress dry amendment. All you have to do is water once you apply these amendments. Don't overwater, but just water when the soil feels dry. And what that does is also, when you allow a dryback period, it's a form of root training. It trains your roots to go out in search of water. So they go out towards the sides of the pots more often when you allow a dryback period. So it's a form of root training. I highly recommend that type of watering for all your plants, even your indoor house plants. Now there's another tomato my daughter wants me to grow this year, and it's called the Ox Heart tomato. We have to order some seeds, but I'm on the lookout for those, and the best place to get them from. A couple herbs we're going to be growing, good Lord willing, is cilantro. We grow this, I think we've grown this for 3 years now. We use it in pico de gallo and a few other things as an herb that we cook with. We cook quite regularly with this, actually, and it's very good, freshly harvested, really good for the table. And lemon balm. Lemon balm helps keep pests away, and it's also very fragrant, and just smells really good. Tastes well also. Guys, that's it for now. If you have any questions, comments, please don't forget to leave those, and please don't forget to subscribe and like the video. once again, I'll be going over all the different pHs that these plants need when I start germinating the seeds, and I'll show you the best germinating technique there is to getting all your seeds to pop. Until next time, guys, happy growing and have a blessed one. Thank you.